I was actually re-listening to your Mark Maron podcast today, where your phone went off early in the interview, and he was commenting on your cool ringtone.
Oh. Did I answer it?
No, you just like silenced it. You were like, oh, that's my, and then you said something about being embarrassed.
Was it my mom?
Well, that part you didn't say, I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a big Maron fan. I love that podcast. I listen quite often.
I had never followed him until I did that, and that interview got the biggest reaction of anything I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah. So he must be doing something great.
He's got a TV show now, too. Do you watch that?
I do. I love the show. And, I mean, it's just like the way that he does those interviews. I mean, it's not Howard Stern in the sense that, Howard will ask anybody anything. But when people get into that chair with him, they're very relaxed and are ready to open up and, talk about, you talked about your parents and all that kind of stuff.
How does he relax people?
I don't know. I mean, he's just like kind of a charming dude, a real good interviewer, very informed, that's for sure. You know what I mean? Definitely knows what he's talking about. So it's just a really good listen. If you ever get the chance, some of the older ones are really excellent. So, we are here. It's the Peabody. You've got a big show for us tonight. We're playing a brand new Weezer track, Thank God for Girls. It's fantastic. The first question that I have for you guys about that is, where did this fall as far as the, sort of the touring and everything with the last album? Because it seems like it's coming pretty quickly, a new Weezer song.
Yeah, it took us over 3 years to make the last album, but the response was really great. Came out October 2014, and we toured on it, and we just had so many ideas, and we felt creative, so it's like, let's go record a couple more songs while we're hot and put them out. What the heck, we're out of our record deal, we can do whatever we want.
Right. Do you guys see times where, for lack of a better phrase or whatever, that the songs come a little bit easier? Or where you're kind of feeling particularly creative for a period of time?
Well, it seems like there's times when songs are always coming, but sometimes it feels like the reaction is better than other times. So maybe that's what it is. It's like, and all our lives are kind of settled and everything's aligned, so that, hey, we can just keep cranking it out right now. So let's go for it.
Yeah, I was playing armchair record guy on the last album, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I wanted Go Away to be a single so bad. I loved that song. I thought You Guys with Bethany was just such a tremendous combination. It was such a great track on that album. And I was always, when I would see another single come through, like, well, that's good. But man, this other one is so great as well. So so talk about, you've got two songs that are out there now. Where is this leading? I mean, are these two going to be standalones? Are there, is there the potential for a new Weezer album after the first of the year?
Yeah, we haven't rehearsed how to answer that question. I'd say that we're definitely writing and recording all the time, and we got a bunch of great stuff, and we're not ready to announce anything specific yet.
Sure. Well, just as a fan, it's just nice to know that, there could be something, whether that be another song or two or what have you.
It's always going to be something.
Yeah. I wonder, I think one of the things that fascinates me about your band is, like a lot of your fans, I've been with you guys since the mid-'90s, and I love how you talk about your fans. It's like, honestly, it's like a true, reverential sort of deal. Like, you really hold them in high regard. And it definitely seems like that's been the case over the course of maybe the last 5 to 10 years or so. Has it always been that way with Weezer? Or have you guys, maybe just in the last decade or so, really started to because you talk about them going on the cruise with them and talking music with them and playing them demos after shows and things like that?
Yeah, I think there's two big turning points. One is that obviously the internet coming up around the time of our third album, and that's when we first realized, wow, we're going to get a lot of feedback real quick whenever we do anything, and that just wasn't the case in the mid-'90s. So that took a little bit of adjusting to. But then around the time we did the first Weezer cruise, I think it was 2011 maybe, that's when we got, locked onto a boat with 4,000 or 5,000 of the most hardcore Weezer maniacs on Earth.
Right.
And we realized that they were awesome, and it was actually really helpful to hang out and talk to them and just kind of become one of them for a while. and see what their concerns are, what they're into, and they turn us on to music, and they can give us some perspective on what we're doing. And ever since, we've just made it a point to like keep playing them our new demos and meeting them after the shows, and it just helps keep us, it reminds us of who we are.
Right. I wonder, I would like to see the Weezer fan that you play a demo for that maybe like has something critical to say. Like, how does that like happen? Or are they still too starstruck by you guys to say, I don't love this, or I didn't like this particular part of the track? I mean,
Like
do
to
you
our
feel
face?
You, right. Like, are they like really, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, sometimes we'll leave the room, and they'll be in the room with the guy who's been with us from day one, Carl. He manages the website.
Mm-hmm.
All the fans know him, so they'll tell him things they wouldn't say to my face. But it's surprisingly, they'll say a lot of things to my face.
Yeah.
I think I have a way of making people get over the whole star thing pretty quick, and they start treating me like a regular guy.
Right. That's got to be like an odd thing as well. I mean, you appreciate them being fans and loving you to death, but like at the end of the day, like a guy, you know what I mean? Probably just want to be treated as such in those instances. It could probably get a little uncomfortable sometimes, is what I'm saying, I guess.
Yeah, well, it gets boring if it's all it is like, can I take a selfie, and then they walk off looking at their camera and they're not even looking at you, and it's like, wait a minute, I wanted to hang out. So it's good when you can be on a boat with them for 5 nights, and then you see them over and over again and things settle down.
Well, very cool. Well, gentlemen, I thank you so very much for your time, and it's so great to have you in St. Louis again, and to play the beautiful Peabody. I mean, this place is great.
It's
I
gorgeous,
saw the Pixies here like a year or so ago, and it sounded great, and it was phenomenal. But I promised I would not fanboy out in this, and I think I'm doing a relatively good job of not. But
Thanks for the support, and thanks for having us.
no problem. I listened to the Blue Album and Pinkerton religiously when they came out, and have been a real big fan ever since, and will continue to be. And thank you for what you do, and can't wait to see you guys.
Well, thank you, man. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
so much.
Very
Thanks
good.
for playing the new song.
No problem. We're looking forward to it, and hope there's many more to come.
Cool, man.
All right.
Very good.
Thank you.